I represent the king of all kings, Elohim, kinda like it's in my genes. But if you really peep the seams, then it seems that if you check this tall, dark human being for something holy and clean, I got nothing to bring or to show. But when you look into my eyes, you see this gleam.
Everything in life must go through a transition, and Real Talk is no exception. We just want to take the time to just again thank you so much for your support and watching our broadcasts, and we just ask that you keep us in prayer during this transition time. You are going to see a difference in the way that we broadcast moving forward, but we hope that you continue to enjoy it and continue to support us. We thank you so much for you watching, and we hope you enjoy the show.
My name is Justin Litzenberger.
Nice to meet you. And tell me a little bit about yourself, like from the beginning.
From the beginning, well, I grew up in Roaring Spring, Pennsylvania. Really small rural country town, very small. But growing up, I had a good childhood. Family was great. I got everything I wanted. I was spoiled as a kid. But as I started to grow up, I guess you would say I started to see things differently. My parents were Christian. My father wasn't for most of my life, but my mother was a very strong Christian. As I grown up, I started experimenting with my friends, just messing around, just rebelling. Just had fun doing the wrong things, and loved entertaining people. But after that, things just gradually began to grow and grow until I was in, I think probably when I was 16, 17, I started experimenting with marijuana. And then after I started marijuana, just things went downhill from there. I started hanging out with them, and marijuana led to other stuff. But after that, things just went out of control, and I couldn't really handle myself. I believe I started doing those things because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to, numb pain because I didn't like dealing with things. So
Life change.
My life changed.
For the better.
For the better, my life changed February 18th, 2014, when I actually went to Teen Challenge. It took years of prayer and my parents just begging me to go before I went. But I finally did go. I went very angrily. Me and my dad got fighting way up there, but still I went, and it took me about a couple months into the program until I started to soften up and see things in the right light, that I was raised in, that I really didn't believe when I was younger. So probably when I was, probably in 2014, yeah.
So when would you say was the first time you experienced God or knew that following God was the right way to go?
Well, like I said, I grew up, it was a Christian household. I went, and all I thought you had to do was just, pray every Sunday and you'd be fine. You could live however you wanted the rest of the week. I thought that was cool. So I just did what I wanted to do during the week, and then I'd go to church, pray, hey, forgive me, Lord, and I felt good, But after a while, I started to see, this isn't right. So I would say probably, in my addiction, I felt the Lord was always there, because times I would overdose, times I would use too much. I would always pray, God, please, I promise I won't do this again. Of course I did it again. It was very stupid of me, but the Lord was there with me through that, and He helped me get through the sick effects, whatever I was going through, because of the things I put into my body. So I would say then, but when I got into the program, probably 2 years in, I gave my life to Christ, and then I got baptized, and then everything just seemed to go from there. Peace. I didn't want to turn to these things to deal with issues that I did before. So probably then as well.
As a Christian now, obviously there's always things that you will struggle with.
Yeah.
Did you say that your struggle got easy, worse, or the same?
Well, I want to say it got easier, but it didn't get easier. When I became a Christian, things got a lot harder, because the way I dealt with problems before, I turned to drugs, I turned to girls, I turned to things like that. But now it's like you can't turn to these things because they're not right. So I just see that, I just see the right thing to do now, and I turn to that. But it's a little bit harder, because you're dealing with the problem. You're not pushing the problem off or fulfilling it some other way. Christ is always there to help you through it. So I would say, yeah.
What do you say is the calling of your life currently?
Calling on my life? That's a tough one. I would say I know the Lord called me to service. I mean, everybody always asks me, what's your calling as an evangelist, teacher, preacher? I would say service. And in that, I think we should be all five of the fivefold, We should be an apostle, preacher, teacher, evangelist. We should do them all in one. Some people believe they're called to one, but I believe we could be all five of those. I believe Christ was all five of those, and he wants us to be like him. And I believe we can do all those things. Like if we're a pastor, we're going to be an evangelist, we're going to be an apostle, we're going to be a teacher, we're going to be a preacher. So I would say all five. Just service though. Really called to service.
When did you make the decision in Teen Challenge to come to North Point?
Well, it was probably around the 8-month mark. The guy that actually got me into the program, he was real big into the Teen Challenge. He was involved in it. Global Renewal. His name was Jesse Owens. He's on the board here. So he came and spoke, but the day before at breakfast, he's like, so what are your plans after Teen Challenge? I was like, I don't know. I was just going to go home, work, make some money, start a living, maybe, see if I can start a family with somebody. But he was like, you're gonna go to Bible college. I'm like, okay, all right. So then I was like, I went back and I remember him saying that, and he prophesied over me in the service. And I was like, this guy, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it at the time. But I went and applied. I applied to Valley Forge, I applied to Liberty, and I applied to North Point. And North Point called me the same day, and they said, tomorrow we're going to call you. We're going to have a phone interview with you, and we're going to see if you made it. But everything just lined up. Everything just worked. It was God. It was God in that, because none of the other schools really contacted me, because I really didn't have the money and stuff. But North Point contacted me, and just everything worked out. So, yeah.
What's your target after graduating? Do you see yourself working with people who were in addiction like you, or do you see yourself just running a church?
That's a tough one. I could see both, but what I feel now is I struggle with mental illness as well, like depression. I attempted suicide before, so I see myself maybe, because I was in psych wards. Nobody goes into the psych wards. I wouldn't mind going into a psych ward and maybe talking to people. Hey, this medicine's good, but there's something else that can help you get through that and get you off of that medicine. I'm not on any medication for anxiety now. I'm still anxious, I'm still depressed sometimes, but I still get through it, and the Lord walks me through it. So I would say that, but if not that, I wouldn't mind being a pastor, maybe youth pastor, anything like that, just something to teach people, and then just let them know what I went through, share how I overcame things, and point them to the right direction. So, yeah.
I noticed you said there's something else. What is that something else, and how do you feel about that something else? Like, what, and let them know there's something else besides meds.
Oh yeah, Christ, the peace of Christ. The peace of Christ is better than anything on this earth. Like I said, I took many drugs. I felt many types of highs, or whatever you want to call them. But when the Spirit of the Lord is, like we're in chapel and stuff, you can feel that. You're just at peace. You just don't care about anything. You're just focused. It's you and God. It's you and God. So I would say that's what they need to find the peace of God through His Spirit. So.
I know you're battling addiction, and I'm pretty sure you still get the urge sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So when you get the urge, what do you do?
What do I do? I call somebody. I usually call my father, sometimes my mom, but also I have some friends I can talk to that have been clean, because back home I don't have any more friends because all my friends I ran with are all still using. So I would call somebody close, accountability partner, maybe even a pastor, something like that. So.
To walk us through your journey. So let's say you graduate from North Point, your next steps. What's your first thing you're planning on doing after graduation? Where do you see God's vision for you?
I would say the first thing I'd do is I'd get back to my home church, because they've been supporting me through this process. I'd get back, thank them, talk to them, let them know how everything went. But after that,
what's your home church?
it's in Pennsylvania, Roaring Spring, Pennsylvania. It's Assemblies of God Church. But I would go there, let everybody know what happened, what I learned. Everybody's really rooting for me there. It's a support group. So I would go and check with them, let them know how I'm doing, how everything went, thank them. Really easy answer is wherever the Lord leads me, but I'm not going to know. I wouldn't mind, anywhere. I'd go anywhere. Wherever I'm called to go, I'll go, so.
if someone right now is struggling with a very similar path as your past, what would you say to them right now? How would you connect to them?
Well, honestly, I've been there and I felt that. I've been in those spots. So for some, I know some people say they feel your pain. They haven't been through it. They don't feel your pain. But I've been through that pain. I've been through suicide attempt. I've been through depression. I've been through anxiety. I've been through abuse, addiction, just to feel some type of way. But I would tell them I feel their pain and there's a way out of it, a healthy way out of it. Instead of turning to things or even ending your life, because some people think the only way is to end your life. They don't believe there's no eternity, no life, no death after. So I would say, yeah, I felt their pain, and this is what I found. Just give it a try. I'm not forcing it down your throat, but just give it a try. It really helped me. So.
Lastly, do you have any ending words of wisdom for those out there that be watching this?
You can't find any answers, anything. Just give it a shot. Not all Christians are bad. There's hypocrisy everywhere. When I was in the world, I was a hypocrite. Everybody's a hypocrite. But what you got to do is you got to understand people are people. We're human. We make mistakes. So I would say give it a chance. What's it going to hurt? So.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to close out.
We thank you for all your support.
Thank you for your support. And you guys know what I always say. He saved me. He saved Chris. He could do the same for you in a heartbeat. Chris?
Praise God.
I represent the king of all kings, Elohim, kinda like it's in my genes. But if you really peep the seams, then it seems that if you check this tall, dark human being for something holy and clean, I got nothing to bring or to show. But when you look into my eyes, you see this gleam.